A human is actually faster than a machine. I competed with Felix to see who will solve faster. Less than 2 seconds. This is unbelievable. I'm a little worried, I don't want to screw it up. But for me this is so crazy. I have no idea how it's done so fast. Well, that was good, even for me. I never thought that a person would able to do this. Hey everyone, I'm Cubastic, and today I will tell you how the Speed Rubik's Cube solving world champion Felix Zemdegs from Australia managed to solve the most popular puzzle on the planet in 3.28 seconds. 3.28 is extremely fast, and no one has ever managed to complete a 3x3 cube faster. This attempt, although it can be considered a world record, is unfortunately not official, because it was not made at a Speedcubing competition, but just at home. We were lucky that Felix recorded the solving, and we can see how a cube in the hands of a person is solved in this unbelievable 3.28 seconds. But in such short time we don't have a possibility to see all the details, and naturally I want to look at the solving in more detail. Therefore, in this video we will decompose in detail every movement that the champion made. I will show you how he managed to solve the Rubik's Cube in such a short time, how he thought, how he acted, and what movements he made. I've collected all the statistics, so this video will be interesting, and also at the end of the video you will learn how you yourself can solve the Rubik's Cube in a matter of seconds. Let's go! I'm sure that each of you has seen the Rubik's Cube in both solved and scrambled positions, but not everyone knows that the cube is scrambled according to special algorithms. Naturally, it can be scrambled just like that, but for professional speedcubers there are special random algorithms that are guaranteed by a computer in order to clearly define the starting position from which the solving began. In the case of a record, exactly this algorithm is used to identify and precisely check the solving. And I have the same algorithm, Scramble, for this attempt that took 3.28. It has now appeared on your screen. Let's analyze the cube together using this algorithm. For those who don't know the language of Rubik's Cube rotations, I will explain everything. Left side 2 times, top counterclockwise, right 2 times, top counterclockwise, back 2 times, counterclockwise bottom, 2 back and 2 times front, top counterclockwise, lower left, top clockwise, lower left, the front face twice, then left, twice front, left counterclockwise, back counterclockwise, twice left and twice right. This is how Felix's Rubik's Cube was scrambled before he began the attempt. And let's take a close look at it. As you can see, there are some blocks here that already align together, for example this pair of solid elements. Here and here we have a nice comfortable block, also the location of these 2 white edges is comfortable. This tells us clearly that this solving will be fast enough, at least the beginning of it. Naturally folks, you can find this Rubik's Cube and many others by the link in the description at the Cubicle store. This is the coolest online puzzle store ever. There is an impressive assortment of Rubik's Cubes to suit every taste and budget. A pleasant bonus from me personally will be discount with a special promo code Cubastic. Follow the link in the description and choose what you like. You know, I want to try to solve a cube using this scramble, and I wonder how long it will take me to solve it, because the situation is quite good here. Perhaps I will set my own record. I'm a little worried, I don't want to screw it up, but I really see that this is a really good situation. And that will be fast enough. I don't know, let's try. So, whoa, the solving goes really comfortably. I only stuck a bit at the last one, damn! Well, that was pretty good, even for me, 11:42. For me, this is a really good result, and in general this is the average result for all speedcubers. But I have no idea how it could have been done in 3 seconds. Naturally, you see, there are some stuck moments in my solving, and there are even some good moments where I accelerated, but when you solve it for 3.28, you have no time for mistakes. It only means that Felix's reaction is that strongly developed, that he sees, understands every position of the elements and managed to make it with no pauses. Let's assume that 11:42 is the average time of the speedcuber who solved the cube using this scramble. But I also have a Speedcuber robot that can solve Rubik's Cube really quickly. And probably you saw a video on my channel where I competed with Felix. He solved it on his own and I was doing it with the help of a robot. If you haven't seen this video, it is extremely interesting, you can follow the link to see. So now I'm going to scramble a special smart cube that connects to the phone, using the same algorithm that Felix had originally. Here it is. Now we can clearly see every movement and position of the cube on the phone and in real life. We will also try to detect how long it will take for the robot to solve this cube. So here's the timer. I don't even know if you will have time to observe all this. I will try to make everything comfortably visible. 1, 2, 3. And I need to stop the timer when it's solved. Whoa! 4.97. Well, of course it was a little faster, I dulled a little with the stop, but still it is not even close to being as fast as the man managed to do. So a human is actually faster than a machine. Now let's get to the fun part. Perhaps it's worth starting with the fact that in order to solve the Rubik's Cube at such a high level, it's not enough to only have skills and knowledge of algorithms. You need to have a really professional cube, it should be fast and high quality. Naturally, Felix has the fastest and best model of Speedcube. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but let's do the following. If you put 10,000 likes under this video and subscribe to the channel, I will definitely order this fastest Rubik's Cube model, show it to you and try to make some several solvents with it. I'm sure it will be really interesting. Let me remind you that videos are coming out twice a week, on Tuesdays and Fridays. In one of the following videos, I'll show you how to solve the smallest Rubik's Cube on the planet. Don't miss it. Maybe you've noticed that I've started with the white color, just like most Speedcubers, but Felix, naturally, in order to increase his chances of success, started with orange. As for me, this is completely wild, and I have no idea how it can be done so quickly. But nevertheless, orange, as you can see, is also quite good. Here is the beginning of the first stage. The arrangement of these elements is good enough, and it was the situation that Felix used while making his legendary solving. All he had to do in order to get started was to solve the first stage, the cross. And he did it in 4 moves. So probably I also did it, this cross, see? Just 4 movements and the cross is ready. Moreover, we have here such an element that already stands in its place. And then we will use this opportunity, Felix also didn't forget about it. It took Felix less than a second to get done with the cross, just a moment. During this time I will not even have time to pick up the cube. But nevertheless, his cross is already ready. Further, he works with this pair. There is a pair of elements orange, yellow, green and yellow, green. Now let's try to do it the way Felix did. He first hit this element down, put the opposite element as far as the far side and with such a double movement combine them into one single block. And then back in its place. Here is a strange thing. Felix intercepts the cube. It takes a lot of time, because turning the edge is much faster than intercepting the whole cube. Nevertheless, Felix did it, and I'll tell you why. Remember, I told you initially about an element which is already in place. This is where Felix used this position in order to solve the next pair in an incredible way. To do this, he makes just such a tricky movement with 2 edges simultaneously. After that he must put in this place this part. And just watch how crazy things are going on after. Instead of returning the previous 2 movements and then again intercepting the cube, he shortens this action and makes a double rotation of the 2 top edges like this. Boom! And at the same time he realizes that a huge block has already been done. I can suggest that he has calculated all the movements that I have just made up to this moment in his head in advance, looking at the completely scrambled Rubik's Cube. And it took him less than 2 seconds. This is amazing. But then it is even more interesting. In the solving of the next pair he also makes a non-standard solution. He first shifts the needed element to a comfortable position. After that we see a strange decision. He uses the front edge. I have never done that, but nevertheless the professional knows something here for sure, better not to argue with him. So, then he combines the wall pair here, and uses this double movement to put it here. At the same time he continues to control the situation with the block that he has already done. And he is bringing back the part that he almost destroyed. That's why he made the front edge movement, so that later when he returns it, it will be useful and put the right block in the right place. That's just awesome! He used the front edge movement to avoid intercepting the cube, and he actually turned it into a useful movement with which he returned the pair back in place. This is amazing, and only some experienced speedcubers can create this kind of algorithms. But it also sounds interesting for beginners, I think. Further, the simplest pair, each of us could have solved it, it is done through 2 algorithms, and then comes a really simple OLL algorithm, which looks like this. And this is the last stage that he needed to do. Usually, in a typical solving, there is one more extra after this stage, but Felix was lucky and there just weren't any extra movements. And it all took him 3.28. Select this time on a stopwatch and just see how short it is. And some more statistics. Felix made 37 movements in 3.28 seconds. 37 movements of the Rubik's Cube. Try to count how many movements you can do in 3 seconds. If you divide the number of movements by time, it turns out that he made as many as 11 movements per second. Even a robot cannot turn the cube as fast as this person, and this is amazing. I have nothing more to say, folks, this is a phenomenal level. I'm not as good as him. Naturally, I can solve a Rubik's Cube, do it quickly and even surprise people with it, but to solve it in 3 seconds, I didn't even think that a person would be able to do it. And as you can see, this is possible. And in order for you to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube, you just need to follow the link. There is my best and most popular Rubik's Cube tutorial on the internet. This is the easiest way to solve the 3x3 cube you can find. And I'm sure that after watching this tutorial, each of you will learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube even if you have never held a cube in your hands before. If this video gets 1000 comments asking me to continue the topic of speedcubing on the channel, I will definitely release a video where I will show you several ways to solve a Rubik's Cube in just 1 second. Yeah, it's real, but only if there are 1000 comments under this video. Thank you so much. I really need your support. In general, I would like to see more comments under the videos. Therefore, do not hesitate to write them, express all your thoughts that arise while watching or after watching my videos. It is always interesting for me to read them, and I always answer the most interesting comments. Now, thank you all for watching, that was Cubastic, goodbye everyone and have a good time. This video is sponsored by one of the best online puzzle stores in the world, thecubicle.com. Check the link in the description.